A good pass on the wing, a good catch on the wing from Jess.
Well, 1 point in it then as we go into the closing stages then of the first half. It's always a good time to score.
Yeah, it's nice to have that little cushion if you can. So that's
can
what
the Mavericks
Chester.
defend this, or can the Cheetahs restore that 2 point advantage? This is an important phase of the play, you feel, in this first half.
Yeah.
The 5 metre go for the line. Does the touch come in? He claims it. What does the referee think?
Given the touch there.
Just
not quite sure what they're saying.
The players, and it is the touch, but Chester Cheetahs still with possession.
So Chester have got another 6 on the line, I think.
Space open. Oh, what an opportunity that was to restore that 2 point lead. And
oh, it looks like they're getting another repeat set, the penalty. Potentially. Yeah. Yeah, that was quite lucky there. That would have been a bit of a wasted set of 6, unfortunately.
Oh, nice build-up play once again, and the Chester Cheetahs clinical in that occasion, good, and they do restore that 2 point advantage. That was lovely play.
Yeah, that was a good score. Nice and composed on the wing.
And so they lead by 5 points to 3 with just over 2 minutes remaining until the half-time interval. Can the Mavericks just get one before the break and close that gap once again? A couple of minutes before the break then for both sides. What do the Nottingham Mavericks
Emily
respond?
Simon in middle, pulling the strings.
The 5 metre mark, can they make this count? Can they work this Chester Cheetahs defence? Diving in.
Lovely.
And they certainly can. Max Loveridge, another one for the number 8 for the Mavericks, and now it's only a 1 point margin with 90 seconds left on the clock until the half-time break, and that could prove once again really vital.
Yeah, really can. Mavericks look very happy with that, and they should be. That was a nice score. Good setup from the girls being in the middle there as well, utilising their girls really well. That makes all the difference too. See what Chester have got coming back.
So just under a minute remaining. Can the Mavericks hold out? Or can Chester Cheetahs once again restore that 2 point lead? This is another extremely important phase of play. Looking to go again. Oh, nearly.
Oh, nice.
Very close to doing so. So 50 seconds left on the clock. Can the Mavericks even try and level things up before the break? That would really give them an extra boost going into the interval. That might change the team talk slightly. Going over the 10 metre mark. Nice build-up play, good momentum in this attacking phase, although the referee calls it back. And the turnover, and Chester Cheetahs can breathe a bit of a sigh of relief.
So Mavericks need to try and keep them down here as much as they can for now. Looking at the clock.
Only seconds remaining on the clock until that half-time break. Just slowing things down slightly. Chester Cheetahs edging towards the halfway mark. There goes the hooter. And there goes the touch. The ball goes dead, and that is the half-time break then between Nottingham Mavericks and Chester Cheetahs. A really good, scintillating first half, action-packed, a good flow to the game. And it's Chester Cheetahs who lead by 5 points to 4, so only 1 point in it at the break. An intriguing 20 minutes left to play. We'll be back for the second half in a couple of moments' time.
A three-man drive is an attacking play which we use to gain momentum. The three-man drive includes 3 players, a half, the person who dumps the ball, and the runner. These 3 players will alternate between themselves in order to create each person's role within that three-man drive. So it'll start with a roll ball. The half will then pass the ball off the deck to the first runner. This first runner will then become the person who dumps the ball, initiating the touch on the defender, for then the person who previously dumped the ball to become the half. A 4-man drive is a 3-man drive, but with another person. The 4-man drive can also be referred to as arrows, and what we're looking to do is the exact same principle as a 3-man drive, but just to add a secondary option of the runner. So you've got 1 runner on the left, 1 runner on the right, and the half will wrap around whichever way they pass the ball, becoming the runner. The best way to complete a 4-man drive or an arrows platform is to hit one side, i.e. to pass the ball to the left, and then to pass the ball to the right, the second runner, and then the left for the third, and so on. A buddy is a 2-man play which we use to create the momentum for a 3- or 4-man drive. A buddy involves the ball being put down, stepped over, the half will then pass back to that same person, and they will run straight into the 3- or 4-man drive. A touchdown is the only way to score points in touch. A touchdown happens when the ball is grounded with downward pressure on or over the whitewash. The ball can be touched down but needs to be under control, and there needs to be downward pressure. A touchdown is worth 1 point. As there are no conversions in touch, you can score anywhere along the line, and as long as there is downward pressure and it is under control.
So underway for the second half then, Nottingham Mavericks taking on Chester Cheetahs, and it is Chester Cheetahs currently lead by 5 points to 4. Can they capitalise that on early doors? Had they had the tap off, but no, not on this occasion. So Mavericks will get back possession in their own half on the 5-metre mark, and could be crucial potentially in this game. We'll see how it pans out. Who gets the next one?
Yeah, well, that was just unfortunate there for Chester. Just the long ball just wasn't quite there. So Mavericks driving up the field. Phoebe Simon got the ball now.
So halfway between the 5 and 10 metre mark in the Chester half, and here comes Matt Gloveridge looking to go right and opts to go left. Still a touch hasn't come in, looks to go long, but just couldn't find the pass, or no one was running onto it, so turnover.
Yeah, ball to ground there. Unfortunate. They had a good drive up but just couldn't quite execute off the back of it.
So over the 5 metre mark they go edging towards halfway. A few fresh faces coming on now as they do cross halfway.
Chester are looking really good coming on with their transition. They're really working the Mavericks defence and getting some good yards off it, which is benefiting them.
Could go right or left and looking for Cameron Brickett. Brickett takes it nicely up, has to be forced back, and that's again good defence by Mavericks, just really putting that pressure on straight away.
So key thing here really for the Mavericks is just focus on their basics, get the ball up the pitch, and hopefully execute something off the back of it.
From right to left, crossing over halfway line. Nice, good yardage made up through the middle, and good momentum shift now, crossing over that 10 metre, looking to try and get over the 5. Good. Oh, just being robbed, no. And just couldn't cross over that white line and get the score on the board.
A good touch there from the female Chester link.
So edging towards that 10 metre, crossing it now, really good momentum. Good start to the second half on both sides, really attacking phases, full of energy and flow as they try to get to that far side. Maybe some space opening up, opt to go inside. Still have possession, touch didn't come. Here's Cameron Brickett just slowing things down. Brickett gets it back, looks to go wide. Oh, good interception. Fresh set of 6 now for Chester Cheetahs.
6 again there. Meg Marchand just couldn't quite keep a hold of it.
To go inside now. He gets it, Brickett gets it, lays it off over the 5 metre, diving for the line. 2 Hood players, Mavericks players should say coming in.
Yeah.
Oh, but he gets the touch, gets the score, and Chester Cheetahs extend that lead to 6 points to 4. And we said that potentially the first try of this second half could be critical. It's Chester Cheetahs who get it.
Yeah, that was Mavericks won't be happy with that score really in between the mids. That's really if you're going to have scores, that's not really where you want them to be. So hopefully they can come back with this tap off with something.
And over the 10 metre mark they go. Mavericks really need to get this next point on the board. Close this gap down to 1 again, and looking to try and do so straight away. Maybe some good space opening on the left, but opted to go into his side. Here's Max Loveridge over the 5 metre, space opening up. But good defensive work done by the Chester Cheetahs. Loveridge, what can he do? Can he instigate something? And just lack of communication.
Yeah,
turnover possession of Chester Cheetahs.
Lack of comms there between the 2 middles, between Max Loveridge and Ben there. I think they might be calling that maybe for a hard touch or just say play on. Yeah.
Over halfway. Here come Cheetahs now towards the 10 metre mark, building up nicely. And just getting in the way there, and
they're taken, so they've said that's a ball down there.
Max Loveridge getting things back underway for Nottingham Mavericks, getting over back towards their subs box to breathe some new life into the side on the halfway. As they enter the Chester half, over the 10 metre mark, going through the middle. There's some space opening up on that far side. Again, good defensive work by Chester.
It's 5th touch there, so they've got no more touches left. Yeah.
Here come Chester Cheetahs once again. Going inside, a nice little individual run. Really eats up the yards.
Yeah. It really does make a difference when you get a little breakthrough like that. It makes it a lot easier for everyone else to get around. And
a fantastic take. Is there space opening up inside his?
That was lovely work from Cam Burkett and the Chester winger there. Nearly.
And the attack just fizzles out, but it was a really nice build-up play on this near side, a great interchange. Mavericks having to restart deep into their own half on the 5 metre. looking to try and make up the yards as quickly as possible. Oh, and a mistake, and now a great opportunity.
Just a drop ball there by Phoebe Simon. Oh, and a drop ball by Chester Cheetahs there. So Mavericks have it back.
So 2 errors, 1 for either side, and we're back with the Mavericks on their own 10-metre.
Yeah, they've given that as a throwing the ball away, I think. So that's a penalty you just don't really want to give away. You don't really need to give it away. So but Cheetahs will probably be a little bit annoyed with that.
So Mavericks going through the centre. Can they instigate an opening? Looking to go left and right, slowing things down. An important touch. Braston looking to try and work his way through and finds a space.
Lovely.
And there we go. He went down initially, but just waiting for the confirmation from the 2
refs are
referees.
just conferring.
Oh, and Chester Cheetahs will restart.
Yeah.
A huge opportunity missed for the Nottingham Mavericks. 27.5 minutes on the clock.
That was good pressure defence there from Max Loveridge getting up there.
Loveridge gets the touch, so Chester Cheetahs still come over the 10-metre mark. Making some really good yards. Can't be caught, looking for some support. Oh, and they get
lovely.
it. It's well worked.
That was a lovely scoop there from Adam Brimlow.
Absolutely superb stuff from the Chester Cheetahs, and they now extend the lead, and a lot of work to do for the Nottingham Mavericks. They now have that 3-point advantage, and the next score could be absolutely critical. Great start to the second half then for the Chester Cheetahs, looking to advance on into the final. Over the 10-metre mark they go now, Nottingham Mavericks. Can they do anything about it? Halfway between the 10 and 5. Into the centre they go, back inside. Just a quick 1-2 between the 2 middles now, liking to play it off, trying to get over to that far side, trying to work their way to the 5-metre mark. Preston being forced back.
So there's a foot in the ruck there, I think.
Nottingham Mavericks, can they get back into this semi-final? They need the next score. Oh, just that pass there, just having to stretch for it. The opportunity's gone, and they can't be wasting too many of them.
Yeah, that's not really what you want when you're on their line and you've got touches. Just unfortunate error there. Lovely driving up the pitch from Chester Cheetahs.
Yeah, full of confidence and with momentum behind them as well. Primlow involved in the middle, looking to try and drive over that 5-metre mark, and we're brought back by the referee.
It's thrown over the mark there.
So 10 minutes remaining then. Can the Nottingham Mavericks get the next score and put some pressure on the scoreboard? They need this next score as they head over towards their own subs box to get some fresh faces on to build this attack. Looking to go into the middle is Oliver Brassington just before the 10-metre mark. Is Max Loveridge picking it up, advancing forward. This is a really nice bit of momentum building for the Mavericks, so they've just slowed down a tad. Loveridge tries to go over the line, and they do get the next score.
That was a lovely score there from Ben Lenori.
Mavericks reduce that gap to only 2 points. A critical score for the Nottingham Mavericks in the semi-final. Head into the final 9 minutes. And we've got a bit of a game on our hands once again. Chester Cheetahs looking to try and respond straight away. Cameron Brickett going in and diving forward. And just loses the ball. Cameron just boots the ball away in frustration.
Yeah, some of the Mavericks not looking too happy with that one. Yeah, they've given that for kicking the ball away, throwing the ball away.
Of course, if you're one of our new viewers, the clock doesn't stop. We just play to the hooter. So no added time or anything like that. We wait all the way till we hear that infamous hooter bellowing around Oxford. Now on the halfway, Oliver Braston make up some really good yardage. Nice little layup, bit of space to run into. Can they capitalise on it? Oh, that's just that pass back inside to Braston. Turnover and possession, and Chester Cheetahs can come again back inside their own half. Bit of a let-off for the team in red and orange as they look to try and drive over that halfway line. Good yardage made up, look to go back inside. Nicely worked. Space, trying to open up a bit of space, looking for that support, and do they get it down? Looks like they do. Referee's just waiting for the confirmation, and it is Chester Cheetahs extend that lead once again to 8 points to 5, and that'll be a bit of a kick in the teeth.
Yeah, I think if you can try and keep it to 2 points, it's easier to get it back, definitely. So Nottingham really have to start working a bit harder, I think, to if they want to really get back in this game, bring it up to a draw, definitely. See what they can do now.
Absolutely. Let's see on the tap off, Max Loveridge driving forward. Let's see if they can reduce that gap once again to only 2. Nice interchanging play, looking to try and drive forward. The dive comes in one-handed.
Lovely. So they're giving that for offside, I think.
So just on the edge of the 5 metre, Max Loveridge. Hamilton falls back. He tries to drive on. Can he get his team over the goal line and get them back into this? So pop and go on the 5 metre. Being driven back all the time though. It's good defensive work by Chester Cheetah, although the dive comes in.
So they've been given away. They're giving away like more than 2 penalties on their line now. So they've just sent 4 sub, which is unfortunate for Chester. But hopefully Nottingham can capitalise on that.
Need to start capitalising on them. 3-point gap opening up. Mavericks need this next one. Just on the 5 metre, Max Loveridge looking to go for the line, dives for it. And it looks like he gets it, he certainly does. So that gap is reduced to 2. High fives all around for that one. Max Loveridge gets his side back into it.
Lovely score there, and critical at this time. Just staying nice and composed in attack, not getting rattled.
Just over 5 minutes remaining. Game's going on all around Oxford Rugby Club. Chester Cheetahs respond.
Brilliant. It's a big D set this, yeah. They really need to keep them out if they can.
No, I don't think they can.
Yeah, they're giving that. That was a good score.
It was Cameron.
Nice keep from Cam Burkett there, no good cut in from the winger.
Absolutely, Cam Burkett in the thick of it and does really well for Chester Cheetahs, and that gap is opened up once again. And Mavericks can't keep him out, so the 3-point advantage is restored. Just under 5 minutes left remaining. Mavericks just need to go again. Trying to get towards that 5 metre mark, just edging towards it. Slowing things down, a bit of space opening up on that left-hand side. But how will they exploit it? Will they go through the middle once again? Oh, that does the touch come in? It certainly does. A really good touch, an important one as well.
Good D from the Chester link there.
It's Nicola Wise Wise, although space may be potentially opening up on that far side. Nicola Wise is claiming the touch once again.
I think he's
important try for the Mavericks, and then again gap is reduced to 2. 3.5 minutes remaining.
It's still doable, but it's a little bit nail biting, I think, for them in the box watching.
And again, it's almost a similar position. Mavericks just need to defend this next tap off and just reset again.
Yeah, and if they can drive out and get another score off that, that'd be ideal.
So an important phase of play this for both sides. Can the Mavericks hold out? Can Chester Cheetahs restore that 3-point gap? Let's have a look as they edge towards the 5-metre marks. Adam Brimlow again involved, and they do hold out. So good opportunity here for the Nottingham Mavericks.
Yep.
Bang on 3 minutes left to play. So they find themselves 2 down with just under 3 to play. Max Loveridge, often the instigator, crosses the halfway.
Claiming the touch there.
Over the 10-metre mark they go. Can they exploit this? Oh, just dropped at the final hurdle. An opportunity certainly missed.
Yeah, very much so. Unfortunate there. I think they're
to have a drop-off here on pitch number 1. And if we're going to have one in this one, Mavericks need to start being a bit more clinical in these final couple of minutes, crossing over the halfway. Good yardage made up, and a good momentum building now here for Chester Cheetahs, but are they just going to slow things down and run down the clock? 2 minutes now remaining as we're edging towards 90 seconds to go until that final hooter. Adam Brimlow just waits for the touch. Brimlow gets it back on the 5-metre. Oh, and then the
lovely. That was a lovely hole there.
And that potentially could be that as Chester Cheetahs get into double digits. 10-7 now on the scoreboard with 90 remaining. Is that potentially for the Mavericks?
Yeah, no, that's it. That's it. Probably, I'm afraid. But got to keep playing till the end. And it's been a really good game. Like both teams quite evens, and then Chester just been a little bit more clinical with what they're doing and just finishing things off a little bit better. Emily Simon on the ball.
Well, can Mavericks finish off the game in nice spirits? They might be 10-7 down with about 50 seconds remaining, but can they finish off with a score? Let's have a look as they try to go out wide, but this Chester Cheetahs defence is spreading really well, and they get the turnover, and they'll be in no rush to take this one. Cameron Burkett looking to try and drive his team up the field. They want to try and get another one. Over the 5-metre mark they go, trying to edge towards halfway. Here's Cameron Burkett once again.
That's a silly error there, just over the mark. Getting some fresh legs on.
So 20 seconds remaining. We'll be hearing that hooter any second now.
Be nice for the Mavericks to get a score in here.
Free bringing back, and there is that hooter. So into the final phase of the game, and there is the tap, and there is full time as the handshakes begin, and that is full time, and it is Chester Cheetahs who move on into the final. It was a really good game, both sides giving it their all, a really nice tempo and flow from both sides.
Yeah. They had good scoops off the back of that, and that was a lot of what won that game for them, really.
Well, we now move on to our next game, which will be the Elite Cup playoff. And that will be between BBR and Cambridge Hornets. Who would have thought that at the start of the day? But Kate, thank you very much for joining me in the commentary box.
Thank you.
And the best of luck towards the final as you play Hot Custard, which will be our final game of the day, which will be the Elite Cup final at 4:20. So good luck.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
And we now move on to our next game, which will be in a couple of moments' time. Don't go anywhere, grab yourself a cup of tea. No sun cream needed. The temperature's just
after sun.
Absolutely, yes. And you'll join us in a couple of moments' time. Don't go anywhere.
Feel free to get yourself into it from inside the football. Is open. And gents, it's your 1 minute one. 1 minute one.
To Oxford, the Hooter sounds, and we're underway in this Elite Cup playoff. And who would have thought it? BBR not making it to the final this time around, up against Cambridge Hornets, two well-established sides in the elite setup. But here we go. So BBR taking on Cambridge Hornets in the Elite Cup playoff, and I'm delighted to say, joined by myself, Bradley Hope, I have Adam Brimlow from Chester Cheetahs, who have just managed to get through to the Premiership final. How are you guys feeling? How personally are you feeling going to the Premiership final?
Personally, I'm just feeling very tired. But as us for a team, that's our goal, is to finish as high as possible. We targeted yesterday to try and squeeze into the top 8. We didn't quite get it. We lost to a very good CSSE 1s, and now we're aiming for 9th because that's the highest we can go. So to have the opportunity to go against Chargers in that final will be a good opportunity.
It's certainly going to be a good final. Both sides we've seen in action over the weekend, and already in the opening minute, Cambridge Hornets getting off to the perfect start, and a bit of a surprise around Oxford that BBR, for the third time, we thought they'd establish themselves back into the Elite Cup final, but they don't make it this time around.
No, very surprising. I think everyone had it as a given that BBR's name were one of those two teams in the final, but they'll definitely be going to look and put on a show. And Hannah Crisp, is it there, just scored for BBR to even it up?
Hannah Crisp was going over for BBR. So what a start to this playoff then. 3rd, 4th place as Hannah Crisp goes over. BBR, even though they haven't made the Elite Cup final, they will finish top of the overall standings. Nottingham Hoods, as it stands, will be finishing in 2nd place. And at the moment, so 1 apiece in this one as Samuel Missing looks to drive forward. Slater involved. Here comes Matty Maynard. Samuel Missing, that for skip he just does into the air. Picked up by Slater. Benjamin Powell tries to go over, ball hangs up in the air. Oh, an unbelievable punch forward. Oh, just couldn't finish it off. That would have been, well, an unbelievable finish if they managed to pull that one off.
Some real flair touch there.
And here comes BBR Hannah Crisp. They're trying to drive forward. Clark Hobson now involved. Here's Lewis Burns. Charlie Brett over the head of Charlie Brett.
There's Ryan Mimzek, the experienced one in this pod. Hitting a nice hole. Samuel Missing just got in the way of that ball then. I think he was in.
Ryan Mimzek wasn't involved yesterday, playing his part today.
Old bodies need rest and all that. I'm sure he won't thank me for that comment.
Experienced campaigner, isn't he?
Yeah. Still got it though. That's a great ball out to Lissy Green on the wing.
Absolutely, and good finish, and BBR turned this one around after being 1 down in the opening minute, and 2 really good sides, so we're set up for a really good playoff game.
Expecting a lot of scores, a lot of chucks out to the wing. Lissy Green, very experienced, very good. Scotland mixed opens.
Absolutely, on the halfway line, the tap off. Cambridge driving forward, Lucy Norman picking up now Sandler. Collier Berman picks up back into the centre.
Ollie Maynard looking to go.
Always busy.
Found some space.
Oh, look at that one.
Referee's giving it.
Dawson finishes it off. Good work by Maynard. Dawson finding the space. And 2 apiece. And after the opening couple of minutes, only 4 minutes on the clock, 2 apiece.
Score a minute so far. Be interesting to see if they could keep it up.
Absolutely. Maynard brothers always seem to play a part in every game for when Cambridge play.
Definitely. Young whippersnappers that they are.
Certainly are. They're a very youthful team, aren't they, Cambridge?
I know. I'm only 21 and they're making me feel old.
Lewis Burns picking it up now. Charlie Brett is that Scottish duo of Burns and Brett.
They've still got youth on their side as well. Very young, very fast. Maybe look to expose Ben Powell in the green shorts. Doesn't quite have the age on his side.
Lewis Burns once again just finding Charlie Brett. Oh, and there we go.
Ben Powell just sitting down to watch that score.
And BBR regain the lead. 5 minutes gone. Almost a point a minute so far. 3-2 in favour of the Bareback Riders, and they are back in front in this Elite Cup playoff. Some questionable dance moves on the side of the touchline. Charlie Brett.
I was going to say it's a good job he can play touch.
And Berman now tries to bring it forward with Slater, and now here's Sandler. Slater gets it back in the middle, halfway between the 5 and 10 metre lines. Here's Sandler picking up once again. Maynard tries to get it back inside for Slater, and they will have a fresh set of 6.
Yeah, BBR are really letting them off by hitting this ball down so often, giving Cambridge an extra set on the line.
Berman Slater back with Berman now, left of centre, now back into the middle with Maynard. Again, Cambridge with another really good opportunity. Berman just picks it up with Slater getting it back to him. There's Maynard. And it off. Sandler wants it back.
Bit of a step.
Oh, and Slater almost just agonisingly watching the ball get away from it. Is the wind having a bit of a factor in today in terms of the long passes that are being floated up into the...
I definitely feel so. First game the wind wasn't really there, but it's picked up, and I noticed I threw one before and it was horrendously forward. My winger did not appreciate it, so the wind picking up is definitely having an effect. You just need to throw it a little bit flatter and harder, but then obviously that makes it harder for the catcher, so interesting to see how those people will do.
Oh, nearly in again, hanging on in Clark. Linking up in the middle. Thompson coming off now. Hannah Crisp in the middle of James Aaron, and now on comes Findlay Lockhart.
Hannah Crisp just marshalling the boys around. Doing a good job as well. They've earned a penalty there.
Trying to lay it after Aaron. Hannah Crisp coming in, but with a really important touch.
Yeah, winger making a good shut in.
Clark.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Finlay Lockhart, I should say, tries to sweep it out. Oh, really good take. Oh, I thought she just managed to hold on.
Good ball there by Finlay Lockhart.
Certainly was. So Eaton on that far side, trying to claim it, just couldn't hold on. Driving over their own 10 metre mark, Sandler laying it off. There's space to run into over the halfway. Samuel Missing now comes off on the bench. Here's Maynard driving forward. Benjamin Powell is to the left. Samuel Missing looking to drive into that space. Lays it off to Powell. Finds Maynard again. A lovely play. Oh, and just that pass just in front of Powell. Just couldn't pick it up, but that could have been a well worked attacking phase.
Oh, they were definitely in for a try of the tournament there.
Would have been definitely up there as Mark Knight drives on forward. So
BBR trying to play some champagne stuff as well. Still going.
Are we going to... Well, some interesting moves. Finley Lockhart is just a bit of a smile on his face as well. Hannes Crisp just laying it off back to Lewis Burns. Ryan Mimshek is there, the experienced campaigner, of course, over 80 caps. There's international side, and here's Ryan Mimshek again, just lays it off, getting it back.
Yeah, it just shows his experience there, controlling it, making sure they're set up for the right play, then trying to find the right options.
Fifth touch, so one remaining. Ryan Mimshek, can he exploit that space? Gets it back, a quick 1-2 in the middle, looking to spread it out. Here's Lewis Burns, just checks back and looks to kick-start. Oh, and a block from Samuel Missing. So, opportunity here for BBR.
Yeah, interesting to see who will get the nod for what moves to run. Look like Mimzek may be going for a quickie.
Just a bit of a netball pass. Sheki gets it back, pops it off once again. Oh, it's opening up nicely. Lewis Burns. And a 2-point lead opening up now. 4 points to 2, BBR lead. And that was a well-worked effort.
BBR lads celebrating there. Nice handshakes all around.
It seems a very relaxed atmosphere in this third, fourth playoff.
It is. I think I can maybe even hear some music from the BBR box, which would explain the dance moves. It's very interesting how relaxed they are. A lot of fun, a lot of games, but still managed to come out and get the results, which is okay. Like you said before, they've already won the NTS.
Turnover possession. Charlie Brett trying to float one out, and it's really nicely picked up.
Good strong touch from the winger there.
Hobson laying off to Mark Knight, trying to drive over that halfway, but he's been brought back, and here's Hobson again. Charlie Brett making up the yards through the middle over the 10-metre mark. Charlie Brett, Clark Hobson linking up. Bill Kelly was there. Oh, just tried to put it back inside to Clark Hobson.
Yeah, Cambridge player got a hand on that though. Another set for BBR, see if they can make it 5.
Slowing things right down. Charlie Brett just lays it off back to Hobson. Brett gets it back, looks to go back to Hobson, but Hobson to go to Mark Knight. And waiting for the referee's confirmation. But it is a 5th for BBR, so they might seem relaxed, but they're certainly clinical at the moment.
Yeah, just that experience of knowing when to inject the pace really works well.
And Cambridge all to do now, 3 points down. What can they do? Can they try and drive on? Here's Slater, linking up Benjamin Powell, now Samuel Missing. Into Ben Powell. Samuel Missing will be off to the European Junior Touch Championships in Paris later on in the summer, back end of August.
Matthew Maynard there running a back door. I think he's also going. So there's definitely youth in Cambridge.
Here's Maynard laying off to Benjamin Powell. Oh, and an interception, and what a chance this is for BBR. No one's going to catch him.
Slow down.
Might as well just have a leisurely stroll. Finley Lockhart.
Let's see if he does a nice dive.
Now we're going to see something a bit spectacular to finish off as he just strolls over the line. Oh no, just a simple touchdown. Finley Lockhart, and that's the 6th on the scoreboard, and they are pulling ahead slightly now. BBR, a 4-point margin, 13 minutes on the clock.
Nice read there from the player. You could see Ben Powell winding up the pass.
Handshakes all around in the BBR subs box. I almost feel like the job in this first half is certainly done. And Samuel Missing off to Matty Maynard. What can he do? Can he instigate a bit of a fight back here? Samuel Missing was in the middle, but Matty Maynard looks to go himself.
It's a good dive, but like you were saying, the touch is made.
Trying to get to that 5-metre mark. Samuel Missing picking it up. Looks to go along, tries to find Benjamin Powell. Looks to go himself. Does the touch come in? No. Benjamin Powell gets one on the score sheet back for Cambridge. 6 points to 3 now. just reducing that deficit in the third, fourth playoffs. So how the BBR respond? Just over 5 minutes left to go until the interval. There's Finley Lockhart, who just strolled to his last score. Charlie Brett picks it up.
Yeah, it'd be good for BBR to get back to that 4. Once it gets to 4 scores different, maybe a few more, the other team starts to chase a little bit, but 3 is still reachable.
And Chris just couldn't hold on to that one. The 5 metre mark. Here come Cambridge trying to edge their way towards that 10 metre broken line. And here comes a bit fresh legs on now.
Injecting a bit of pace.
Driving on forward, Samuel Missing lays it off back to Maynard. Maynard sees Missing coming behind. Powell is to the left but finds Maynard. Oh, and just couldn't feed it on one more.
Good bait by Cambridge. Got themselves another set. I think they'd be pretty happy to get a score here. Get that score deficit down to 2.
So just waits for the touch and just flows it to Maynard. Maynard gets their touches as well. Really slowing things down, almost just waiting for that opportunity to strike. Samuel Missing looks to drive forward over the head of Powell, back out to the wing. Good covering defence from BBR. Chris does well, Eaton should say well as well to get it back. But the turnover and another good opportunity here for Cambridge. Powell over at Maynard there waiting.
Yeah, it was a nice deep line from Benny Powell, who was in there, but pass wasn't quite great to the winger.
Maynard. Samuel Missing there waiting. To Maynard looking to try and go out wide, although he goes for himself. Referee calls touch just on the line. Just lays it off. Samuel Missing gets the touch.
BBR defending very well. They have one person quite far back, which is means that when Cambridge go, they're struggling to find space, but Missing's done it.
Looking to try and finish it off. On this occasion, 6 touch comes in, so turnover, and BBR defend well. And looking to drive on themselves through the middle. Here's Hannah Chris making a really good darting run from that far side.
Good yards early in the set.
Lockhart.
Those players coming on will really appreciate that. Got more touches to play with.
Bill Kelly just laying it off. So Lewis Burns, a hop, skip and jump over the halfway. Mark Hobson. Lewis Burns. Shek is there. Who picks up that pass. Now onto the 5 metre. Hobson lays it back off. Now Hobson gets it back again. Good touch from Sandler, pressuring down and turnover in play. So just over 2 minutes remaining till the half-time break. Samuel Missing over the halfway. Maynard looks to drive forward. Berman's there, gets the pat. Oh, just clings on. Good covering work, and that was the 6th touch, so turnover. Using all his experience driving towards the 10 metre. Bill Kelly lays it off Hobson. Hobson gets it over to that far side with a lofted pass to Lewis Burns. Burns tries to get back into Hobson. Lewis Burns looking to pursue a route through the middle, gets it back from Maynard. Bit of a skip from Lewis Burns. So 90 seconds remaining on the clock in this first half. Can BBR add his 7th to the scoreboard? Lewis Burns back inside to James Anon. Good touch from Maynard. Remaining. Can they finish off this first style? Good defence at the moment from Cambridge. Scooped up pass. Oh, lovely.
Oh.
Side step to the left, but can't finish it off. 30 seconds left on the clock. Clark Hobson now making way. Seconds left. Can they just force over one more before the break?
Don't seem to be any major rush.
Hobson gets it back. And there goes that hooter. Flick behind, and that will be the half-time interval in this Elite Cup playoff in what seems a very relaxing affair, to say the least. BBR leading by 6 points to 3. We'll be back for the second half after the break.
I got into touch because my eldest son, Clark Hobson, he was really into it, raved about it, and he achieved England standard. I thought, well, I could maybe do that. So I got into it through Nottingham Touch Club 3 or 4 years ago, following my wife and both my daughters into it. After they'd been to a taster session there, they encouraged me to join them and enjoy playing touch.
I play touch because I love the sport. I love particularly playing as part of a team. I play with several teams. My club's the SSC, regionals and the England's 27s, and I love every team for different regions, and I love working specifically for a team.
So as the hooter sounds, we get the second half back underway in this Elite Cup playoff. BBR against Cambridge Hornets. BBR leading by 6 points to 3 at the break, and they have the tap off and looking to try and add a 7th and restore that 4-point margin. Can they do that straight from the off? Charlie Brett picking up really nicely, looking for Hannah Crisp. Critical touch comes in.
Yeah, interesting, just trying to eavesdrop on the BBR half-time team talk. There's a lot of waving hands around, so some interesting lines expected to be run. There's a nice screen there, I think.
Here comes Finley Lockhart looking to go left. Oh, just dropped before the line, just couldn't cling on, so turnover possession, and already second half has been played at 100 miles an hour. Samuel missing, lays it off to Benjamin Powell. Catherine Jones is there just behind. Powell goes all the way over to that subs box to get some fresh faces on already. Samuel missing, coming towards the halfway line, picked up really nicely. Sandlett now picking up that pass and heading towards the 10-metre mark. Here's Maynard back into Berman. Berman laying it off back into Maynard. Maynard with Berman to his right, just gets halted at the line and turnover. BBR. Charlie Brett, part of that Scottish duo of Charlie Brett and Lewis Burns. Finley Lockhart just lays it off. Charlie Brett just coming off himself. Hannah Crisp lays it back into the centre of Clark Hobson. Here is Lewis Burns, finds Clark Hobson again. Hobson looking left and right, he nods there to the left, and Burns picks it up on the 10-metre. Tricky players, Lewis Burns, Clark Hobson. Oh, Lewis Burns diving for the line. Has he got it? Just confirmation from the referee. He certainly has. So the first score of this second half goes to BBR. Lewis Burns diving into the line. That just seemed really simple to me.
Yeah, they make it look very easy. Nice low dive. Toucher, just getting under the toucher.
Yeah, diving for the line, getting down low, and was difficult for anyone to get a touch in before the line. So Slater gets things back underway for Cambridge, and if they want to get anything out of this, they'll need the next score. Samuel missing, driving his team forward. Slater leading off to Benjamin Powell. Powell to get it back to Slater. Powell and Slater just feeding off each other in the middle. Samuel missing picks it up, lays it off to Powell. Powell crossing that 5-metre back into Samuel missing. Good, quick, incisive play by Cambridge, and in they go, Maynard, and that was a great response from Cambridge. Nice work between Powell, missing, and Slater, and it is Maynard who finishes it off.
Great structured play by Cambridge, running the move, then having the options off it, off the phase play.
So tap off again for BBR. Can they restore that 3-point advantage once again? Ryan Mimchek just to the left now. Gets it back.
Ali Hogg there, just toying with the defender. She's been a big role of the England Mixed Opens for quite a number of years, and just transitioned into the women's for the last year for the World Cup.
Clark Hobson just trying to skip his way through, but concedes the touch, so Cambridge will start again from the back. Here's Collier Berman making that arcing run towards his subs box, which we often see. Catherine Jones making a really good individual run and making that yards up.
Yeah, really good lines. It's only second touch and they're over halfway. Just if they can keep that momentum up and roll into a move here. Maybe missing, scooping through. There he goes.
Samuel missing, picking it up, faking the pass, and
good work by the defender.
back in towards Ryan Mimshek. Mimshek involved with Clark Hobson. He gets it back. Driving forward, Clark Hobson.